Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of this special interview series with the tape boy, Brother Jim Maguire. If you haven't had a chance to listen to part 1, I encourage you to go back and listen to it before starting this one. We left off with Brother Jim and Sister Fran as newlyweds moving down to Jeffersonville, Indiana from Canada. Let's listen in. So how soon after you come into Jeffersonville, then did you start working with Brother Branham or the tape boy, or how did that all happen or come together?
What happened, we never got our green cards. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, Brother Branham, and I'm just going to say this, we were down there in May, probably in June or July. He said, when you get your green card, I want you to be my secretary.
Wow.
Okay. And he asked me, he said, you can file and do all that stuff? I said, yeah, pretty much. He said, you going to have any problems with it? I said, well, Fran just went to business college, so she can help me out. Oh, perfect, he said. Then this is what we'll do. As soon as you get your green card, start being a secretary. So I've got that one piece of paper I salvaged. November the 11th, 59, I was secretary of the church and for Brother Branham.
Really? So what did that job entail? Like Everything. So you received letters in and probably sent things out and
answered letters and sent out prayer requests, everything. Any telephone calls that were Brother Branham specifically said that there's going to be some calls come in. I need to get those. And they're going to be like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to have it. That was no problem. He worked with a phone company enough. He had the phones figured out. Either we got them or they were stored up until in the morning, you know. And I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He knew what to do. And I remember one time he came by and stopped. He said, Brother Jim, you're going to get 2 phone calls tonight. One's from the brother from Louisville, which you guys, I think, have heard. He was an attorney. He knew everybody in the big cities where he could set up a meeting and Brother Branham could preach to every big city. Brother Branham said, that's not my ministry. So you have to get rid of him somehow. But be Christian. I don't know what I told him, but anyway, I never called any again. And they said, the other one is going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. I need to get that. So we got that. So he called me the next day. Here he come by. He said, thanks for the call last night. It just saved a marriage.
Really?
It was from California.
So back then, as a secretary, you would receive a call would come to you. You would take the call. Is there a way to phone the operator and forward it on, or would you take the notes and then get it to Brother Branham or the number for him to call, or how would that work?
This is what took a little bit of training. You have to know, because some people call up, you know, they got a hangnail, they're dying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And somebody gets run over by a train and they'd like to have Brother Branham pray for them. You know, you have to kind of, and that was kind of rough on a farm boy.
I imagine.
But the Lord helped me out. I mean, I just kind of knew when I got the call how it was going to be held and what to do with it. And I probably goofed up a lot, but, you know, I didn't mean to. And everything, Brother Branham said, come out good. So it came out according to him. That was good enough for me. He was the boss, so.
Yes.
But, yeah, everything else was good. But it was a lot of work. Enjoyed it.
How long were you the secretary then? And did you change from being a secretary then to going to the meetings and recording them? Or were you all kind of always held that? Or how did that work?
Well, August of 61, Brother Roberson come to me after church and said, you won't be the secretary anymore. This is Wednesday night. So, oh, okay. What do I do? So he told me. So anyway, I went up to, I didn't have any money then to speak of. So I called my dad. I said, getting ready for harvest. You need somebody to help you? I'm out of a job. He said, Well, I just hired somebody. I said, so he said, I'll call you back. So he called me back. He said, no, he's got another job. So, yeah, you come on up. So I went up, and you can make pretty good money in the harvest. So I got enough money to come back and live off the land, so to speak, until something come up. And then we're over at Billy Paul. Billy Paul and Lois got a new bedroom set. So they called the girls in to look at it. So Fran said, you want to go? I said, well, I'll take you. So we went over there. And the only two guys that were out in the front room was Brother Branham and myself. He said, are you working? I said, no, I'm not. He said, I didn't think so. I want you to start recording. Get a recorder. I'm going to store up some food. I want you to record it. Get a recorder and a microphone and start practicing. It's the first of the year. It's going to be a new contract. So I did. And
wow. So in your words, being a farm boy, you just come back from working the harvest and you made enough money to live on for a while, and you come back. How did you figure out what kind of equipment you needed? Where did you start, or how did you figure what you needed to buy or practice?
Well, that's a good question, because I was thinking about that. How did we know what we won the woolen sack recorder? Because the woolen sack had more interior stuff than you could get with a web core and a unit. You know, the amplifier and all that stuff. All that was built in a woolen sack.
Now, are these reel to reel?
Reel to reel. So I had a woolen sack from somewhere. I don't know where it got. I think I bought it from one of the brothers in Chicago, I think. I don't remember. But anyway, I got that. And go to Brother Welch. You never met Welch. You will. He said, well, you know, and all, the recorder isn't much good if you don't have a microphone. I just happened to have one. I took one trade-in on a car. I'm telling you, he said, I'll let you have it for $85. If you want the cords, give me $100, it's yours. So I had $100, and I give it to him. That thing, you couldn't, he says, you can't buy that. He gives the guy a car worth $450.
So you started with that microphone and your reel to reel. You started practicing. Bought some. Went someplace in Louisville. I don't know where, to get some 3M tape. We got some 90 or 3 hour and 2 hour, and we started playing. Then the Brother Branham said, send down your contract at the end of the year, and ended up getting a contract. So when you started recording with the reel-to-reel, you just mentioned a 3 hour reel or the different sizes. How did you figure which ones to use during the meetings? Okay, we had two recorders. You had two recorders.
90 and a 60. And if it was like an 88 minute, this was done. You made a new master off of that and kept this as the backup. This is the original. Yeah, it was pretty tricky. I was pretty good with math, so I could figure out how to do that pretty good ahead of time. Only thing bad was that Brother Branham had like a really long tape. It just changed your way of thinking till he was done. Because there's a couple, it's pretty well 4 hour tapes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you got...
So you have to, like, mid-sermon, you're swapping reels out and restarting.
Well, yeah, that, and you had to mark them.
Okay.
Make sure you mark them. We got the 90 and the 60 down pretty good. But we had everything, 60, 90, whatever. We had enough that we could do a 10-hour tape if you had to.
Really?
And keep everything in order. And I tell you the honest truth, I don't know how we did it, but we could take that stuff and make a master in a heartbeat. Go back to the trailer and make a master. And I don't know. Seriously, I don't know.
So you would leave the meeting after Brother Branham was done, and you would have multiple reels and you had marked them and swapped them out. Then you'd go back to your trailer, and then you would make one full master of the whole thing. 2. Wow.
Brother Branham got 1. We kept 1, and then the original was the original. The only problem I ever had, I never had any problem on the road except with Demas Sicarian, for the businessman. They, and actually the secretary, I think, Joe Rose, helped me out. So don't worry about him. If I tell you you can do it, you can do it. You can do anything you want with Brother Branham in our meetings. You're okay. The only other place that I had a problem was Jeff.
Wow.
Tabernacle. Had a horrible time at the where he preached marriage and divorce, middle school. Every time I stepped away, then somebody would move my equipment.
Really?
Or if I couldn't do that, they'd tell me I had to go move my car. This happened. Police want you to move your car, which I had parked right by the thing. And I went up and talked to one guy. I said, no, I never said anything like that. But I'll tell you this much, you're going to have a hard time getting out. I said, well, I got equipment. I'm going to be the last one to leave, so I don't care.
Right.
Oh, perfect.
When you were recording Brother Branham, did he give you an itinerary, or did you know ahead of time at all, or do you say pack your bags, we're heading out, or were you able to bring your family? Did you go by yourself? Or
no, I always took the family.
Always took the family.
Always, yeah. One time when we moved out to Arizona 63, he told everybody to stay here.
Yes.
He came to our place the next day and said, if you want to travel with us, you can. So we're going to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. That was Wednesday. So we went out and took a lot of flack from people because he told everybody to stay. And here's what he would do. He'd say, okay, we're going to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he'd come to the hotel, knock on the door and say, we'll leave at 6. Because I know Fran likes to give the little in a bath in the morning. So we left at 6.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just really a lot of blessings that just we almost took for granted because I don't know what else do you do.
I sure enjoyed listening to this part 2. I loved hearing how Brother Branham told him that he needed to store up the food and asked Brother Jim to start practicing. That paved the way to what we are all enjoying today, this spiritual food in due season. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and I look forward to next episode. Until then, God bless you and shalom.